What's up, everybody? Welcome to HotMakes, right here on HotMakes Live. I'm Nerdy J. This, my friends, is Andrew Sink. Andrew, how are you?
Good, man. Just grooving to that intro song. It is so high energy.
It's rocking, right? I love Maker's Muse did the intro music there, and at the very end of the intro is actually my wife's band, Wicked Realm. So check them out too. But another week has gone by, another Hot Makes, and another awesome guest host in Andrew Sink. Like I said, how you been, man?
I've been good. I just wanted, before anything else, I am so excited for this. And I was just talking about this earlier before we started the stream. I am so excited to talk about this benchy, this floating benchy that is on. We're going to talk about it later, but it is just the coolest, most imaginative 3D printing experiment, and I love a good 3D printing experiment. So it's super exciting stuff. But as far as what I'm doing, I've been spending a lot of time 3D scanning stuff.
Nice.
That is definitely
which machine are you using? Are you using the phone app or are you using a machine? Which one are you doing?
Yes.
All of it.
I'm just I've been playing around a lot. There's an app called Polycam that just popped up that uses photogrammetry. Super cool, super high resolution, and super low effort. You just kind of turn the thing on, take a couple pictures, and then you get a 3D model that looks just like the thing that you were looking at. And it's so cool. It's just such a quantum leap forward in scanning.
That's awesome. The technology is just absolutely amazing, and new stuff is always coming out. I still have one of the, was it Revo Point or Revo Point scanners like you had? You did a video on it very recently. Yep, right there. And I to be honest, I haven't taken it out of the box. So I really need to, because I heard they're so cool and they keep updating, the firmware and the software on those. And I imagine when I pull it open, there's going to be a whole bunch of updates. But just seeing your video on it, if you haven't seen Andrew's video on any of the 3D scanning, do that, because he's really doing an awesome job, including himself, which is really cool. I mean,
yeah, I've got a couple of those floating around.
Well, you next to Shia LaBeouf, probably right on the shelf next to each other.
My Shia LaBeouf, I had to banish that print to the closet because it's spooky seeing a print. For anybody in the chat who's not familiar with Shia LaBeouf, there was a printer that came with a test print, and the model that it came with when you tested the printer and hit go was a bust of Shia LaBeouf, and he was on a big block that just said Shia on it, and it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It was bizarre.
Awesome. It's the most random test print I've seen on a printer too. But if you're just joining us, welcome to HotMakes. We do this every Monday night, 6 p.m. Central, and we are graciously sponsored by Thangs, who's in the chat with us tonight. So say hi to Thangs, and they provide not only support for the channel here on HotMakes, but also a $50 Amazon gift card to anybody in the world who has Amazon. So you're free to win it. All you have to do is click on the link in the description of the video, or Nightbot just did a chat, and you click on that, and you got to enter to win. So do that, and we'll do it towards the end of the episode. We have an amazing episode. Of course, Andrew, I mean, that makes it amazing already. And then we have Hot or Not that Andrew alluded to that is just, I don't know if it could ever not be hot. And then some awesome hot makes, and we'll end up with a giveaway and all that. Did you watch last week? Did you get time to watch last week when Devin and I did these?
I saw a recap of it, and I was just the process is so wild to make something like that, and it's so outside the way my brain would normally think about making something.
Well, you know what's funny is that I am the complete opposite, because I suck at art. I really suck at art. But pouring something on a canvas and moving it around willy-nilly, I'm in, because it doesn't have to, you never know what it's going to end up like. And you could get anything. And I think I was super proud of these. I'm really pumped to do a couple with my wife as well. And I did 2 other ones that I just dipped in the remnants on the table. Why not? This one was the first one, and it
looks so good.
Very crazy looking. And in the center, someone commented that they think it says sorry, randomly
Oh, sure.
the center. And that would be my like interpretation of this. I'm sorry this happened, right?
The whole top half looks like a peacock, like the eyes on a peacock's feathers, like all those little like dot kind of in a row.
Yeah, and this one
it looks so intentional.
Came out a little different, which is awesome. Again has pretty awesome texture. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain. But these were just dipped in like the remnants. And one of the things I really love, let's see if I can show it, is the gold. The gold is like a metallic. It's really hard to see the metallic part, but in person, it's just like pan. It pops so good. And Uncle Jesse, you just asked if the canvas was files were available on Things or out there, and no, these are actually like one-off. Sorry, man. No, the canvas files are not available. Right? If you could print, can you imagine if you could print this?
He's looking for an STL.
Yeah, he's the STL, bro. But that was awesome. Devin, for Make Anything, thank you so much. And Mixed Media Girl, thank you for guiding us through that last week. But we got to get started. We got an awesome episode. We have a Hot or Not that is absolutely crazy this week. And I'm just so pumped to pull it in. I think we should do it right away. What do you think?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do some Hot or Not. All right. So I'll let you, how about you do the intro?
Who?
Oh,
me or Mark?
Yeah, Andrew. How are you? There we go. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Mark's with us. Whoa, look at that.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everybody. This is Mark. He is the amazing master of what we're about to see, which is this GIF here. And Andrew, we talked a little bit before the show. Explain this like we talked about it earlier.
Okay, so I might have totally spoiled it right when we started, but this thing has been on my mind because this is the coolest stop. So I'm going to let Mark explain like how it works and everything, because to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how he compressed this much magic into a single GIF. But when this thing came out, I have been seeing this everywhere, like Twitter. I saw somebody posted it on LinkedIn, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, just everywhere on the internet, and it blew up. And it is so soothing to watch. And it's one of those, it looks so fluid when it's just rocking back and forth. And like, I'm looking at this thing and thinking, how can it be a 3D print? It's so dynamic. It moves and it's so fluid. So Mark, please, first off,
Sure.
hot, slamming the hot button on this one.
Yes.
Mark,
So,
please tell us all about this thing.
All right. So I was at a company, I work in feature animation and I work in visual effects and feature animation and CG. And the company that I was at laid everyone off for reasons I can't talk about. But so I have a period of time where I have time off, and I worked on a movie called Lego Movie 2 where I did lots and lots and lots of stop animation on that. And I've always wanted to do a 3D printed stop animation, like the animation studio does 3D printing stop animation. Right. All their facial work is 3D printed.
Oh, wow.
So they do it based off of three-dimensional geometry, and then they print it by frames. So I did this all in CG. So I did it all in a software called Houdini. So I hand animated the boat floating, and then I did just like an ocean simulation in the software. And then basically I printed it. So I have a little setup here. So I printed it height, so standing, so that I got the best resolution I could vertically. Because if I were to print it this way, it would look, slice planed. So this is the plate in which they are. You'll see that there's, I don't know if you can see it in the reflection, there's numbers on each plate. And then on the bottom, there's a little registration point to make sure it's all aligned. And then there's a hole, and that hole is a peg. And then I Boolean out the boat. And then the boat has a little peg that then you just peg per frame onto the tray. And then this tray goes, so this is taped onto a table. This is the registration table, and then this pops into there. So then it all goes onto the table like so. Awesome. So then you take the boat off. This stays on the table. You take this tray off. You put the next frame on. You put the boat on.
Wow.
And rinse, repeat. So
how many frames is it?
So there's 120 of these sitting in the basement right now. I printed 120 of these. I have 3 Prusas, and I was doing 10 prints on per tray with a single wall because I realized like I didn't need double wall to get this. It didn't need structural stability. It just needed form. And then so then I printed it all single layer, and then the Boolean area as well. Like I made sure that the overhangs weren't too dramatic, so that I could still do single hang. And then so it was 10 prints per tray. Each tray was 10 hours. So it was like I was getting around 30 to 60 prints a day. It took me about 4 days of pure print. Wow. And then and then this is just we have a little basement area that my daughter plays in, so she helped me out. And so so you can see on the left, those are all the trays. So every single one of those is framed, and so they're all in two orders. So then pick it up, put it on the tray, put it in, snap it in, take a picture, next shot, so on and so forth. I could have made it more smooth. I kind of wanted to make it more smooth. It jitters a little bit, but then I was like, you know what? It has the charm. I had no idea that people would like it. I just made it because I've always wanted to do it. And I was just kind of like, I have 3 printers just sitting doing nothing. So I was like, screw it, let's just do it. Plus I had a lot of this filament left over from a project I had done. So I have like 10 rolls of this like really nice marble filament.
Nice.
So, let's just do it marble. Screw it.
It looks absolutely gorgeous. Someone asked how you kept track of each one. I think you said you numbered each one.
Yeah, so each one has a little number on the side. Yep. You can see right here.
Nice. Yep, perfect.
If you can get that.
Yep.
Yeah, you can kind of see it.
So good. And then Uncle Jesse says you need to NFT that and sell it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I just think I've missed my window. In reality, it's like I should have put the NFT out when this thing went out, and then it probably would have sold for good money. But whatever. I might just release the STLs and just let the community kind of like use it as a crazy benchmark, just to say.
Literally. I mean, definitely think about Thangs, our sponsor, for that too. And just looking at this, what's crazy is that you said it was 120, right?
I was originally going to do all 240 frames and do it all on ones. So Leica does it on ones. A lot of other studios do on twos. But I got to printing 120 and went, I'm just going to do it on twos.
So this might be totally obvious. What does do it on ones and do it on twos?
So on ones and twos, 3s and 4s are different ways of animating. So if you see anime, like the head will stick and the mouth will move. Mm-hmm. So the head might be on 3s. So that means that the head is frozen for 3 frames or 4 frames. The mouth might move on 2s. So Disney animation, one of the reasons it looks so smooth is because it's usually on 1s. Same with like Ghibli. Studio Ghibli does everything on 1s. That's why it's so fluid motion. The Saturday morning cartoons you watch, there's sometimes 2s, sometimes up to 4s. So it's economical.
Cost saving.
Yeah. So instead of like, for example, this is 10-second animation, 240 frames. 240 frames would be on 1. So I did it on 2s. So every frame is held twice. So frame 1 is frame 1, 2. Frame 2 is 3, 4.
Got it.
So
and Andrew had an awesome point, and you had an amazing answer. But we won't get too far deep in the woods here. But because of this, we were like, who is it? This is amazing. Who is this guy? And to be honest, I'd never heard of you. And I looked up your website, and you've done some absolutely amazing things. You just said you worked on a Lego movie. Can you, briefly talk about maybe where you get your experience from and maybe a couple of the things you've played with?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've worked on visual effects and CG for 15 years. I've worked on like Tron and Star Wars and did Lego Movie 2. For Lego Movie 2, I oversaw all the effects. So there's lots and lots of actual stop motion in Lego Movie 2. Like if you go to my Twitter and scroll through, you'll see some making of Lego Movie 2 stuff that I did, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I just play in mixed media. I've always liked mixed media and like pushing kind of the oddities of animation and stuff. I'm probably going to do another one of these just for fun, but we'll see.
100% suggested.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that you're so awesome. You gave us a little bit of time here to talk about this, because this is such an it's such a combination of different maker worlds,
Totally.
right?
Well, it's the Benchy. It was like when I went at it, I was like, what else am I going to use? I got to use Benchy. Come on.
Daniel Norrie would be proud. We should have had him on today. I should have. Yeah. Do you have any other questions, Andrew? I know we don't. I don't want to keep Mark too long, but I mean, we could probably talk a whole episode just about this. So.
We could absolutely talk a whole episode, and the very like casual. Oh, I worked on Tron. It's like, hang on, like Tron. I can't let you off the hook. Now you have to talk about that. But yeah, we could absolutely make like entire episodes. Mark, we definitely should do something again, because this gift is so cool.
I also do a lot of 3D printing, so I can also talk about all the weird, crazy.
There you go.
3D printing too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Star Wars. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's
yes.
I love it, man. Well, what's cool is now, we see that you do all this animation stuff and you 3D print, obviously. And now in my brain, I'm like, what else has he got laying in there that he didn't show us? Because we're HotMakes. We like to see all the hot stuff, and now I'm gonna have to go to Instagram and Twitter
things for sure.
So. Before we let you go, like I said, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're a busy guy, but where can everybody find you if we want to look up anything that you do?
I mean, you can look at my kind of professional stuff on partiallyfrozen.com. I'm on Twitter at partiallyfrozen. Yeah, and that's about it.
And I made this joke earlier. Is it because you only like Frozen a little bit, like halfway?
No, it's because I kept moving from LA to Canada. So I always felt partially frozen.
Canada, that's a big jump there.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Awesome. Yes. Well, hey, thank you so much. Thank you for jumping on with us. Thank you for reaching out when Geary got a hold of you. And Geary, do you have any questions before we go? This stop animation thing had to be programmed through the computer, so.
I'm just proud that one of my kind could be a part of this.
Yes.
I love it. Thanks, Mark. I really appreciate it. Thanks, we'll see you again. If you want, we'll have you back anytime. I'd love to see what else you print too.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Man, I cannot get enough of that. After talking to him, what's your initial reaction, Andrew? I don't know where to,
I just want to hide all of my projects. Like, no, these are like garbage. Like, obviously you should watch the Benchy. Like, it's so great. And it's like the tip of the iceberg, right? Like you just know when he's like, oh, it's in my basement. Like, turn that camera around. I want to see what else is down there. Like, there's more stuff.
I love it. Yeah. I love that, he just casually mentioned, you check out his website. He's done some really cool stuff on Twitter. You can see it there too. And, just the cool stuff that people realize, that like me, I never heard of Mark before. And then I saw this and I was like, I need to look this up. But I'm so awesome. Thank you, everybody out there who tagged this, because this made it just amazing. I know we got tagged several times. Geary, he like shot back his programming. He's like, we have to have Mark on. We need to find Mark right now. So that was awesome. And thanks again. I really appreciate you coming on. I think, like we just end the show right now. No.
I would not.
So good. So good. Oh, man. Well, let us know in the chat. What did you think? How did, had you seen that before? And what did you think of it? Because obviously we're all over it. And like you said, he casually, hey, Tron, Star Wars, the Lego Movie 2, just a couple of small things I played with, I printed like a riser for a piece of canvas, and he's pulling out stop motion benchies. But nice. Well, what have you been up to? I know we got plenty of time. We got some HotMakes coming, but before we get there, you've been scanning a lot of stuff. Have you been printing any of it?
I sure have. I've been printing stuff I scanned, but I've also, let's go on the time-lapse theme, because like it's actually a really natural segue into, I've been playing around with, I recently discovered, apparently on a DSLR, you can take the lens off and you can put a different lens on. So I've had my Canon for like 6 years or something, and And I was like, and someone on Twitter said something about a macro lens, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh my god, why don't I have one of those yet? And so I bought a macro lens, and I did my first macro resin lapse where I did like a really close-up shot of a time lapse of a resin part growing out of a vat, and it's like you can see each individual pixel firing. It's so cool. I was all excited. I posted it on Twitter, and the compression made it look so bad. So keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully it should be released in the next, like, I don't know. I make YouTube videos like once a month, but I'm super excited about that kind of time lapse, and it's for a project that I've been working on, which is right here. And this is the Doom Marine by Printed Obsession, and I got this from my mini factory. It's an awesome model. But if you're looking at it, you're probably having a hard time making out details for two reasons. Number one, it's on a webcam, which is terrible. But also, it's kind of low contrast. So this was printed with Elegoo's translucent green material, and it's also hollow. And I noticed it's really hard to make out the details on a hollow model. So I experimented with filling the model with a super high contrast paint. So we've got the same model here, and this one's been filled with like a black acrylic paint, and then this one is just hollow. And like it's crazy how much the details pop on it. And so I'm kind of playing around right now.
That's awesome.
With experimenting, like what is the best practices. So I printed a bunch of these guys, and then it came out really well. And so in the process, of course, as they're printing, as these little Doom Marines are popping off of my Mars, I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be an awesome resin lapse.
No, and let's talk about resin lapse just for a second. You and Uncle Jesse came out with it, and I should lean on you. I have one, but I want to understand better how to set it up, and maybe I'll reach out to you and say, hey, you can work this out, because I have a lens, but I need to actually plug the resin lapse in and get it going.
It is so simple that when you get it set up, the first thing you're gonna say is like, oh, I should have done this like weeks ago. It's so easy. It's literally just a trigger that's triggered by UV light, which your printer makes every time it makes the layer. It's every time it shines that light, polymerizes that layer, it sends a signal to the camera like, hey, do the picture thing now.
You just put the wire right in the vat, right?
You just not in the vat.
Just joking. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Funny. I was telling Clayton this morning. I had my with the macro lens. Part of the macro lens you want to try. It lets you get like right up on top of things.
Super close.
And so I had the camera basically in between the vat and the build platform, and I was leaning in so close that I got resin on my shirt because I was just like inside the printer.
Jeez.
Yeah, that is the correct noise.
Walked out in the sun and cured it.
Oh my god, threw it away immediately. But yeah, so it's definitely super easy. It just takes a picture every time it cures a layer. You take those pictures. I just drop them all into Final Cut Pro, turn them into a compound clip, and then speed it way up. And it looks like, it's like 200 frames per second or something ridiculous. So it comes out really just insanely smooth.
Well, I think I'm going to have to try that. I have the Mars 3. Did you have the Mars 3 yet?
I do. That's
what you've been using?
Right there.
Yeah. So I think
hard to do.
Mine is here. Well, I can't even.
It's hard to do, right?
Like, it is right there somewhere.
Everything's backwards.
But I think I might have to set that up, and maybe when I do my follow-up video, we'll throw some resin lapses in there, and I'll get Caleb to try to edit that in for me. I'll be like, here's the pictures.
Yeah, here's 5 gigs worth of pictures. Can you make an 8-second video out of this? I was asking Clayton, I'm like, how do you deal with the file storage? And he's like, you just deal with it. And so I've got an external solid state drive, and it's nice. After like one resin lapse, it's like full.
Time circuits on.
That's awesome. Yeah. Man, but that's so cool. I think if you haven't seen resin lapse, as he explained, it's such a cool way to do it. Check out Resin Lapse on Twitter, right? I think what is the official site you're selling on now? Because I bought mine in the Etsy days, so
we're still
that's
on
over with, right? You're still on Etsy.
We're still on Etsy, and we're on Big Cartel. Yeah, Etsy shut us down because apparently resin is also like a drug term, and so they shut us down, and then they brought us back, and then they shut us down again, and then Clayton made a big video and was like, what the heck? And they immediately they reinstated our Etsy and sent us like a bunch of gift cards, and they were like, we're good. So we kind of stopped advertising it, but we are still there. But yeah, we're mostly Big Cartel. But it's super. I watched so many. I love making FDM time lapse videos, like on a Prusa. Sure. They look really soothing. It's really cool watching something just like sort of organically grow. And Clayton had the idea for making one for a resin printer, and so we brainstormed for like a couple of weeks trying to figure out a good, an elegant solution.
Yeah.
And it worked so well, and it's just like it looks so I don't know, it's very Terminator, like just seeing like that solid shape just like come out of the vat. Geary would love it.
Geary, have you seen the resin lamps?
I have. It looks fantastic.
There it is.
I might have to program some of that in you at some point.
I love the connection to Terminator too. Terminator is one of my favorite movies. So
Inspirational.
yeah. I love it when the robot takes over.
Yeah.
My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
Doesn't he say it's like 200 megahertz? Like, yeah, I think Geary watched the first half of the movie and was like, "This is amazing."
We got to show. I brought up Resin Labs quotes on Twitter, and I just want to. So here's looks like this person did.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is just one of theirs, right? So you can actually see, like you're saying, you can see everything fire in there, which is cool. But this is such a cool way to do it, and I know like Uncle Jesse. He mastered he does the spins on it and all the cool stuff. And I want to get this far, so I'll get that far, and then we'll try spinning the camera around in circles and see what happens. But no, I'm just kidding. But I think if you check out, I think he did this one, right?
No, so that's also Uncle Jesse's. Mine is, I think it's like probably like the third post on my Twitter. He made that video. He made all of those, and they look awesome.
Yeah. In a second here. Let's see. There you go.
Oh, there it is. That's the shot right there.
There you go. Watch. Yes.
So cool. And the vat is like, a quarter of an inch thick with resin or something. So you're getting like a 5-inch part out of this tiny vat.
Right. Well, and we debuted Resin Labs here on the show when you guys debuted it. We had Uncle Jesse on, and he talked about it, and he said, "Stay tuned, it's coming." So, I mean, I don't know. Let us know in the chat if you tried it too, because I'm really curious on who out there has tried it. Do you have any other cool stuff you printed with you?
So those are the main things. I also printed, this one is like this is going to look terrible on webcams. This is just going to be me talking about it, and you're going to take my word for it. And in like a couple of days, you can see a picture of it. But I've been experimenting with some of the higher resolution aspects in the Mars 3, and it was kind of like a perfect storm. I made a little Witcher statue because I've been playing a lot of The Witcher because that game is great. And like, I'm just blown away that this printed in one piece, and you can't quite tell, but like the chainmail is visible. You can see his medallion. You can see all of the brass knuckles on his gloves and stuff. And like the level of texture and detail, and the fact that the reins printed on the horse, right? Like just like that. It's mind blowing to me. And
awesome.
The Chitu box and Elegoo are just such a good combination. I'm really I'm blown away with how simple it is and how easy they make it for like importing a model, generate supports, go. And that is like, I'm a huge user experience person. Like that's why I'm really excited about 3D scanning right now, in 2021, because it's like finally you're at the point where you don't need like a giant, desktop computer with 16 fans and like a DSLR with like 1 billion megapixels. Yeah, it's like your phone. Like you've been walking around with a 3D scan in your pocket. You had no idea. And so
is it just Apple, like iPhones that do it?
So this is where it gets tricky. And I have this conversation a lot, and I feel like I'm repeating myself. So if you're in the chat and you've heard me start to talk about Android, like you're good. You're good. You can like tune out. Like this is a great time to grab something from the kitchen, come back. Apple is really, there's a ton of great 3D scanning apps available on Apple. A, because their newer phones have LiDAR on them, but B, it's a unified hardware set. Like my iPhone, 11 is the same as your iPhone 11. It's the same as the iPhone 11 of the guy down the street. But with Android, you've got this crazy combinatorial explosion of like every Android's got a slightly different feature set, and there's generational differences. And so developers have been really slow to come out with a scanning app for Android because nobody wants to make an app that the very first comment on their download page is like, "This sucks. It didn't work with my 8-year-old phone." And it's a real problem. And so it's hard. It's a hard problem to solve. And I'm certainly I can't solve it. I think if somebody could, they would have by now. It feels like
I thought about just finding one out there and buying it just for the apps. Like one that somebody's selling used.
Oh, yeah.
Because I probably won't use it. I'm an Android, avid Android guy. But just to be able to use some of these apps, I would love to have it.
Yeah, and it's definitely, I think especially the new Mac OS has object capture, which is essentially, it's a photogrammetry tool. And it's like dead simple. I've seen some of the kind of the previews from the beta software. It takes 1 to 2 seconds to render like a 24 photo set, which is, again, like if you've done this in the past, if you've used like Metashape or professional photogrammetry software, it's like thousands of dollars in equipment, hours of your life wasted trying to smooth pixels and stuff and vertices. And now it's like,
is that a hole under your chin?
Is that a hole under your chin? And now you've got like some dude with a Mac Mini, like who, 2 seconds after he uploads the photos, he's like, here's our 3D model. So it's a great, I feel about 3D scanning right now the way I felt about 3D printing in like 2012, where I'm like, oh my God, this is going to catch on like crazy. And so it feels very similar.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what everybody out there does, more of your stuff too, because you're really doing some cool stuff, and you're making me want to go grab it off the shelf and actually open it. So I have to do that.
See the tripod?
Yeah.
See this? Check it out. It turns into a handle, right? So you can hold it. This is like a $600 piece of consumer equipment, right? So it's about the price of like a higher end, consumer 3D printer, like a nice Ender 5 or something like that. And like it's just, yeah, I mean, you've got it, man. It blows me away.
I opened it to take the tripod out to use it for a webcam on my over here, and that was the last time. So I appreciate the tripod so far. No, I can't wait. I'm gonna have to jump into this and set up. I'll use Uncle Jesse's last video, one of the last videos, and set up a little photo area there, and there you go. It'll be a lot of fun. But that brings me into, we should jump into HotMakes. There's some really cool stuff. I hope you've seen some of it, but I'm hoping you didn't, because I want to see your reaction to a lot of this. And congratulations on the engagement. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you so much. Yes, you have to be careful, because I'll talk about that for like 20 minutes too. But I just recently got engaged, and I'm like super jazzed up about it, and it's really exciting. Nice. And after like a year and a half of like COVID lockdown, I'm just like, yes, it's a good thing.
Yes, that is awesome. Congratulations and welcome. Well, I mean, almost to the marriage world, I guess. You got a while, right? I don't know when your wedding's going to be.
Yeah, we're planning for the end of the year, but like it's crazy how hard it is. All like the wedding planners, everybody is like, oh yeah, we're booking out for like, yeah, are you interested in 2023 or 2024? Yeah. It's like, God. Yep.
Yeah, I own a entertainment business, so I DJ weddings a lot, and this is my official last year. I think I'm gonna shut it down and hang out with the family and do this, and then I work full time too. But I do a lot of weddings. We had a bunch of people shift to this year because of last year, and so all the ones I'm hitting now, except for like 2, are ones that are held over from last year.
Yeah,
and everyone is like, we should have done. It's been so long, because they couldn't do it, or the venue locked them down to like 50 people, and they had 200 invited, so they didn't want to do it at that point. But it's crazy how far we book out. So normally I'm out like a year or 2, and photographers will tell you that right now, especially right now, everybody's like, do it, But I mean, I don't know where you're at, but maybe I'll drive the trailer over. I'll get you music.
I was going to say, we got Andrew Rogers. He's like, hey, I think I found your DJ.
Yeah, right. That would be fun, man. I would have a blast to doing that. I just did back-to-back Friday, Saturday this past week. And that was the first time I did it this year, back-to-back, and that kicked my butt. I wasn't used to it.
I was going to say, was it just like exhausted afterwards?
Yeah, I'm super lucky because I do a lot at a very, very nice venue, and I trust them. They have a lot of cameras, and they both were at the same venue. So I didn't have to tear down and set back up between weddings, which made my life 100% easier. But but like you said, we could talk about this forever, and we should probably get into the HotMakes before the crowd's like, all right, I'm out of here.
I know, by the end of it, it's like, what did you guys see on HotMakes? Like, oh, I think Andrew got engaged. Like,
yeah, Andrew got engaged. We saw a wavy, benchy boat, and we talked about resin labs. I mean, what else do you want?
Wedding bells?
I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some HotMakes. Let's do it. All right, so the first one we have to start off with is 3D Print Bunny. Have you seen her Tensegrity 3D prints?
Oh my God! Finally, somebody says it out loud. How do you say it? Say it again.
I believe it's Tensegrity.
Okay, if you said it wrong, we'll find out in the comments.
Yeah, let me know if I said it wrong. Maybe I am, because I say all wrong, and And yeah, we're going to get into words Jim says wrong here, but the tensegrity, I believe, is how you say it. And she's just been killing it with these things. Have you seen these yet? Have you tried one?
I have not tried one, but I have been watching hers, and it is like watching I mean, like, look at this. Look how cool this is.
Yeah.
And then it just sticks up, and it just holds itself there.
Yes.
And she didn't cast a spell on it or anything. It just works.
Tensegrity, yeah. So that was close.
Tensegrity. I think you got it. Yeah, I think you got it right. So I've been seeing them, and every time I see it posted, it's like I see the tensegrity word, right? But in my head, it's just like you just hear static because I've never heard it pronounced before.
Right. And this is what it looks like. I love it. Another benchy feature, right? That was pretty cool. I absolutely am loving these. I have not. I want to venture out and try to print the big one she did and see if I can stand on it. If it holds the full Jim, but I don't think it's gonna. Have you seen that one where she actually stands on it?
I have not. I've only seen. I saw the X-wing she did like a day or two ago, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's just such a cool concept. It's like A+ concept, A+ execution, A+ documentation. You know, just like everything about it. This like encapsulates like what a good project should. Like, and look at this. Like, she's just made so many of them. Maybe not that one.
Yeah, not that one. There's this one. Oh, whoa, now that's crazy. I don't think I saw this one yet. That's beautiful. Let's see. She did a video. We featured it a couple weeks ago.
And there's the X-wing right up there.
There's the X-wing, yeah.
Or TIE Fighter.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
There
it
you go. And these are just so awesome. And oh yeah.
is.
Anyways, where she actually stood on it, and I was just it's such an awesome idea. I don't know. It's one of those things like, why didn't someone think of this before? Everyone like a year or two ago was just blowing these up on YouTube, and no one 3D printed one. This is it's such an awesome thing.
HotMakes. Hot, hitting the button. Like,
I reckon she says she reckons it'll hold me. Oh man, that's a test right there. Now I'm gonna have to try it. New segment on HotMakes. How do you say that again? I'll take words that confuse Jim for 300. I love it. You guys are awesome. Next, we got Nate. So we were tagged in this. Teamed up with a gifted 3D sports sculptor artist at, I believe is it Cybro. He wanted a fully 3D model of a 2D 8-bit Techno Bowl legend, Bo Jackson, and this is what he got. Look at that.
God, that's cool.
Did you ever play Tecmo Bowl?
I did not. Is it exactly as fun as it looks?
It is. Yeah. I mean, especially when you're 8 or whatever. I don't know how old I was, but you know, like this is like, oh yeah. And then Madden came out, right? But
that I love voxel art. It's such a natural evolution from pixel art, and it looks so good. And they nailed the colors on this too. Like it's absolutely, they just nailed it.
Definitely agree, and I think that is very underestimated. Like the importance of colors, because you know, like Angus and Devin. They both like gray, different colors of gray. We won't argue which one's better, but they like gray. But this is awesome. They did a great job, and I love that they took, you know, this picture here and turned it into that, and such a cool idea.
Yeah, I think designer, that's the check to see if somebody's studied like industrial engineering, is you show them two gray things and say, hey, are these the same? It's like, oh, whoa, hang on. This is designer gray. This one over here, that's more of a heather, you know. That's how you you flush them out.
I love it. So good. What else do we got? RK Prince. Obsessed with this.
Helicon?
This is a Helicon, I believe is how you say it, right? Helicon or Helicon. Check this out. Oh, man. So good.
Oh, wow.
What's even happening here? What is this?
It's 3D printed pieces on a dowel, I believe, or a metal dowel or a rod.
They just have like different stopping points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like spinning
That's so cool.
And so they all kind of line up when they stop? Like they just form that pattern?
if someone in the chat, all the confusing words this week, yes, for sure. If someone in the chat knows more about this, shoot. But I tell you, there's
That's
not much
cool.
on this post explaining what it is. But it's a helicon or helicon. It depends how you want to say it. But this one that's so cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm sure. I guarantee somebody in the comments is going to point out like, oh, this is very simple physics, explanation for why this happens. But like, they're definitely like lining up, and it looks awesome because you get that really cool like snap, 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 snap as they kind of align, like they're clicking into place. Yeah, that's awesome.
Now I need to look this. We're gonna have to work on looking this up and seeing how it works because this is like you could put this next to Benchy Waves, next to like watch it. I could watch it all day.
Or put a Benchy on each one of those spades.
Yes,
like it spins all the Benchies like pop, 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 pop.
That would be great. It would have to be really tall, but it would be awesome. Oh boy, here we go with the cellular tower. Graffiti, you're next. Octopus Lamp by Steppen, and it's 3-day build on an Anycubic Deltas with the help of a Prusa Mini. And let's just pop this bad boy up.
Oh
Check that out. I mean, the paint job, the finishing on this is just something.
It's so wild to see such intricate detail painted on to an FDM print like that. It'll never not blow my mind to see. So cool. And so there must be, I guess there must be like wiring hidden, like maybe something like it like runs through, like that's like a
I'm assuming there has to be a channel.
Oh, I think I see it at the very bottom there. It looks like there's kind of a wire.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, so it must run through that thing. So in addition to being crazy painted and everything, you had to, I guess, chisel the support out to like make room for the cord. Crazy.
Yeah, maybe it's hollow. Maybe you could fish it through. I don't know, but I love how it's like it's basically meant to look like it just busted through your ship there. It's like I'm just gonna hold this light for a bit.
Yeah, that's legit. It's definitely creepy. I would not want to. That is not what you want to like check into a hotel and see coming out of the wall.
Yeah. Oh man, I love the finishing. He does such a good work. But nice work, Graffiti, and man, just another great model there. You can print it in one piece or section, Sweepy said. That's awesome. Now I need to look that up. Can we find that on Thangs? Anybody know? If it's on Thangs, link it in the chat and we'll get it up there. Big Jano. I don't know if you guys seen this. I think he's with us. He had a big project, and he actually did this full. What do you call these things?
The Nanoleaf, right?
Call them? Yeah, there you go. He called it the Jano. That's what I was looking for. I was right in front of me, and he put it all together and programmed it, and it's such a cool idea, such a cool project to do. Actually, at one point, I was thinking of doing like a community style one with a hexagon looking ones, doing a community print where everybody printed one and wrote their name or something on it, and then I used it for the backdrop. I laid it all up, and everyone, whoever sent one would have like a piece on my backdrop. I thought that'd be a lot of fun. But Big Jano did an awesome job on this. There's actually a really cool video of the different patterns he's programmed, and it looks great. These are awesome. Let's see.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
More pictures. Also,
that's a good looking print.
Yeah. Here we go. You can kind of see him moving there.
Oh wow!
We should do that.
Did he say what the controller was? Is this Raspberry Pi powered?
I believe it's an Arduino. Let me look here. Yep.
Arduino. There you go. Neat.
Yeah. And here you go. That's a little more motion you can see.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And this next one's full effect with multiple colors.
Oh, that's cool.
So good.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Love it. Well, nice work. I mean, such an awesome job. 3D printed, programmed, and now part of your background and everything. Great job. I can't wait to see more of that. Now people are commenting, let's do it. Maybe I should do it still. That would be a lot of fun. Just to,
I think it's a great idea to have behind you.
Yeah.
Arduino Uno. There he is.
There you go. I believe, I'm assuming you could control the intensity because you'd have to turn it way down. Like when I filmed, if I had it on, if it was like super bright, it would just wash out, right? So we'd have to play with that. But that would be a lot of fun. All right, what do we got next? Lightspeed, Steven, another clock spring 3D print. This is the Necromancer vase, 500%. Man, just a killer vase for one. And Steven always gives us some just amazing, smooth, buttery prints too. Look at this.
Oh wow,
so good.
Was that a larger nozzle?
We'll double check here.
1 millimeter nozzle. There it is.
Oh yeah, right here. It's the Magnum.
Woo. That is up.
It's so good.
That's a nasty nozzle, man. That thing looks great.
Yeah.
Those layers are enormous. God, I love the look of just enormous layers on a print, especially when you get to those overhangs. They just stack so cleanly. I mean, it looks so intentional. Like it looks like it's been carved into the side. That's awesome.
So good. Nice work, Steven. What do we got next here? Tripod's Garage. This is a time. We were talking about time lapse, FCM time lapses. This is a Kaiwu. Let's see, 26 hours, 1,009 snapshots. Let's see how it works.
Ooh, nice. Man, I love a good time lapse.
Great Scott.
Gary's on it with the sound effects tonight.
Yeah.
And he's a sassy robot too. Nice work. This is awesome, Tripod. I love time lapse. It's something I only did for myself a few times. I think that my issue is that if you use like Octolapse or something, it adds so much time. And a lot of times I just want my print done. So I'm just like, go. But this is such a great time lapse. And we don't see enough of these. I think we need to see more of these.
Yeah, for sure. I think FDM time lapses, you have to go into it knowing like, all right, this isn't going to be like, I'm not shooting for speed because you got to move the head, take the picture, possibly prime the nozzle, bring it back. And it's like, you have to kind of go into it, that understanding, like this might be a little slower. I was definitely worried about like making time lapses on a resin printer, but it doesn't, because it's using the UV light, you're not actually like adding time. And like FDM time lapses, man, you got to go into it knowing you're going to, this is going to be something we're making for a time lapse.
26 hours is what it's going to be.
26 hours, yeah, and 1,000 pictures, and then you got to save all those pictures and like bring them into an editing software and stuff. So it's great work, Tripod. It's fantastic.
Nice work. Yeah. What do we got? Stock 3D printing weekend project. This. Oh boy, look at that.
It's Clippy. I love it. Oh, he looks so goofy.
Uh-oh. I see that Geary has something to say about Clippy.
Yeah, Clippy and I don't talk anymore. I don't know what happened.
What happened?
I don't know. We just kind of fizzled away. He doesn't show up to the family reunions anymore.
I can tell you're very sad about this.
Nah.
I have fond memories of Clippy, and then what was it? Albert Einstein was like the other word processor guy who would help you out, who would jump in when you got something wrong. At least with Einstein, you didn't feel so bad. You're like, well, he knows what it is. But with Clippy, it was very much like, all right, dude, come on.
Right. It looks like you're trying to save a document. It's like,
it looks like you're trying to steal the spotlight.
I love it. I think I'm going to reprogram. I think this is a good model, right?
That's awesome. That looks great.
Nice work. Stock 3D printing. Great job. 12 hours. And I was seeing it. I don't think it said how big it was because looks like a pretty good size print.
Yeah, it sure does.
But awesome. What do we got next? So this one was tagged a bunch of times. Now, this is a tough one because there's nothing I mean, I have to go into a YouTube video to actually show it. And but this is such a cool video. If you have not seen this, don't forget, there's a link in the description below. All you have to do is click on it. It goes to a Google Doc with all of the past episodes, all 69 episodes, because this is episode 69 today. And look for episode 69, and you'll find this. But I'm gonna play this, but briefly. I don't think it's, for one, I don't think this has got 874 views. This thing needs to jump like by hundreds of thousands because of what he did. But have you seen this yet? Did you go in and check this out?
No, I've seen thumbnails of it.
I hope the mouse doesn't come after us.
Ha! Funny. So he wanted to print. He wanted to summon lightning with Thor's hammer. I'm gonna kind of just walk through. He does a really good, really good video. Yes. And he makes Thor's hammer and how he's gonna get the lightning to it, hit it, etc. We're gonna keep rocking here, and not turn on captions. And there we go. So there's the inside, and if we play it. He's putting it all together there. And then when he gets all done, let me just hit this. Here we go. They're testing the Tesla coil now. So I'm saying this is such a cool idea video, because he gets to play with a stinking Tesla coil. Here we go. Yeah.
So good.
So so I just love it. So he's playing with the lightning.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it's such an awesome idea and such a great video. I know a bunch of people tagged it, and if you have not seen this, you have to go watch it. It's not that long. It's actually a pretty short. It's 10 minutes and 1 second. So check out this video. Just, I mean, just the idea of playing with a Tesla coil, it would be awesome. But yeah. So if you want to see what that shot is, go watch the video, because he definitely deserves the views. You can find it. Looks like, you know what I'll do? I'm going to copy this and post it right in there for you guys. Boom, there you go. You can find it there after the show. But what do you think of that? What would you do something like that, like a episode where you could play with the Tesla coil?
No. I have had so many projects fall apart in my hands while I watch them, powerless to do anything. The last thing I need to be involved with is like high voltage, like that I admire and respect and think it's shockingly good. Like that's awesome when somebody does that. I know that I have had more than enough days, or I'm like halfway out the door and I realize my shoes are untied. The last thing I need to do is like, wait, did I remember to ground myself like right before I'm like reaching for a Tesla coil? Yes, in a 3D print that you have to trust will hold up to that Tesla coil. I love that the whole idea. Like, let's see if it bursts into flames. I mean, why not, right? Such a good watch. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, and you'll have to watch that whole video and let me know what you think, Andrew, in the end, because I think you're gonna like it. It's his style is funny. It's fun. Good stuff. What happens to Andrew in this video? The results will show you. That's pretty good.
Yes.
That's I just watched the Veritasium clickbait video, which like everybody apparently has seen recently, and that's it. Just a shot of lightning bolt and then like me on the ground or something, and it's like you're like slightly pixelated, so it's like, what happened? Like,
I think the joke he meant was the results will shock you.
The results will shock you. There you go. That's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
This is another one. This person did a map of San Andreas. Grand Theft Auto 5, and this is such a cool watch. It's 57 seconds, so we'll kind of talk through it. But he makes a plate for it first, a little name plate, and there you go. And then he 3D prints all the terrain and the buildings and pretty much the whole map. talk about the time lapse again, right?
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about this guy, Dom Rico Bene, I think, and he has done his CNC videos are beyond hypnotic. Where he'll just take a piece of wood with like multiple like plywood, but with different colors, and then he'll mill through it, and you're just like, oh my god, it looks amazing! Like, look at this stuff. I love these videos. They're so well executed. Again, just like awesome concept, awesome execution, looks great. Look, like I played GTA 5. Like I look at that and I'm like, oh my god, it looks just like a map. Like it's so good.
Yeah, I agree with you. He has some of the coolest videos. His editing style is really cool. I watched some of his CNC ones as well, and it's I just love how he puts it all together. It makes you want to like, what did I just want? Let me watch that one more time, because that's what we all want, right?
Yeah, he did one with a Purple Mattress, like the mattress company, and it was like a sponsored video or something. And it just scrolling through it, you're like watching all the elements of the video, right? So it's like super smooth tool pathing. The time lapse is done well. It's like lit well. There's always these really cool tracking shots, like the camera follows like the CNC bit as it's moving. Yeah. It's just the whole thing is it's absolutely gorgeous.
100% agreed. If you haven't checked them out, again, it's all on the doc in the description. You can find everything we talked about tonight. I was scrolling quick to see if I could find one quick.
Scroll up. So this is Andrew Price's Twitter. Who does a ton of awesome Blender stuff.
I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong one. Yeah, my fault. Yeah,
I was about to say that. Thank you, Andrew.
My bad. I just clicked and that's gosh, cool. We got to get that string in out.
Like, look at that shot.
Hours. Yeah, 400 hours. I love it.
His videos are great.
There's a video of him putting it together. Man. Well, just trust us. Go find it and check it out. And I know we're getting close on time, so I don't want to keep barreling through. But what'd you think of a HotMakes this week?
Good stuff. Tons of really creative ideas. My favorite 3D printing projects are always the one that involve 3D printing. It's like a tertiary sort of like, and it was also 3D printed. Like all of these really cool tensegrity tables, tensegrity situations. And
learned a new word today.
I learned a new word.
Well, how to say it, at least.
How to say it, tensegrity. But seeing how those are all made and they're printed in place and stuff. And a couple of years ago, everybody was making little tables and putting fishing line through them to suspend them. But now seeing them just printed in place where they just come right off the printer and then immediately wobble their way. That's really creative, and it's really cool to see. And whatever the helicon situation is too.
I need to look that up when we're done. And if anyone else has insight on that, chat us, because I need to see what that is, because I felt like Karate Kid, basically, where you're spinning the thing on the Karate Kid movie. God. And but every time you do that and you stop, it makes a different pattern. And I definitely need to see how that works, because my brain breaks when but awesome. I mean, we had a lot of fun. It's time to almost, it is time to give something away. So if you have not registered to win yet, please do so ASAP. It looks like we have 75-ish people registered. The link is in the description of the video. Also, it's being in the chat every few minutes, the whole episode. So we need you to go register ASAP, because we're going to pull some names, or a name, for a $50 Amazon gift card courtesy of Thangs. Thank you so much, Thangs. All right, there we go. We got a couple last minute people popping in.
I was fully expecting to hear the wow sound effect that I hear everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Well, real quick, while you are registering to win, if you haven't already, let's do how about some announcements? We got a couple announcements to make for the next few shows. So how about some announcements? Let's do it.
Okay, listen up, everybody. Turn up your volumes. Announcement.
Attention, we have an announcement. Attention, we have an announcement. Yes, Mom. Yeah, okay. Mom, I'm doing a thing.
I love it. So we had Andrew on this week. Next week, we have kind of an extravaganza video. We have Chris Kersey from Kersey Fabrications, Brian Vines, the pun master himself, and Garrett from 3D Print Farm are going to be joining us all episode. We're going to have just kind of a giant party. I don't know. We're going to check out some hot makes. We're going to talk about everything everybody's doing and have everybody kind of, I don't know, a big mishmash of fun because Chris is awesome at his long, very, very good instructional videos. Brian, I mean, Pun Master, how much more could it, or how better could it be to actually have him live, right? And then if you guys have not seen Garrett over at 3D Print Farm, awesome on the resin stuff as well. So I'm going to have to ask him if he's been checking out the resin labs or not. Garrett, if you're watching, better get it ready. But so check that out. That's next week. September 6th, no show. I believe everybody will be partying for Labor Day. And then we'll come back 13th with ModBot. That'll be an awesome show. The 20th, Chaos Cortec will be with us. And the 27th, Chep will be with us. And we have some other people in the works, so stay tuned. I know Mars Gizmo was talking on chat a little while, and we're working out a date there too. I reached out to him. We're going to have hopefully get him on or do something. I know his time zone is a little funky with our show, but I know he was chatting earlier, so that's pretty awesome. So Chep will be with us, the 27th. And while we're doing that, let me grab everybody. It looks like we had a few extra people register, so I hope everybody tunes in the next few weeks. And of course, Andrew, thank you, man. I really appreciate you jumping on. It's been a blast year. I love the energy. That's I just absolutely love the energy that you bring to all your videos too. If you haven't seen Andrew videos, you have to check them out.
Just don't subscribe because I release one and then it's weeks until another. So if you're expecting regular videos, my channel is not Edge of Tech. Stick with the tried and true.
But I think you're the first person ever to say don't subscribe. Just don't hit that button today.
You're good. You're good. You can just Google it if you need to find a video.
There you go. I love it. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna let you do the honors. Basically, you'll reach your way in this way, arm in.
This way.
Your other arm. There you go. And then when you spin, you'll go up.
Yeah. Spin up I'm pulling up. Okay. All right.
Exactly. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! There you go. Ooh. Sweet Bee, there we go.
Woohoo! Sweet Bee.
Congratulations, Sweet Bee. 52, I think. I'm pretty sure she's with us. I saw her talking earlier, so hopefully she's still with us. Let us know if you're there. I'm pretty sure she was with us because I did see her commenting earlier. And you got to be present to win, so that's got us. Yes, all right.
There she is.
Perfect. And thank Andrew. He spun it. And we'll get you a $50 gift card to Amazon, courtesy of Thangs. If you haven't checked out Thangs, you got to do it. There's a link in the description below. I believe it takes you straight to the mini gym. So grab that link and go get yourself a mini gym because who doesn't need one? I mean, there's that. But Andrew, again, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you jumping on with us tonight. Hopefully we got to see some really cool stuff. We got to talk to the one and the only guy that made the benchy. I mean, that right there was worth the price of admission, right?
That's why I came on the show. I was like, I gotta talk to this guy. This is so cool.
I love it. But again, thank you. You're welcome anytime. Anytime you want to come back, we'd love to have you. I know you're busy. I can't wait to see what else you do with your resin and your scanning, and any other fun Shia LaBeouf, things you want to throw out there at us. We'll definitely watch that.
Hopefully that was a one-off. Hopefully we'll see. It might be possible that we talk about it so much that other 3D printing companies are you know what? They really seem to love that Shia LaBeouf statue. That really made waves.
That would be amazing. I don't know if you've seen the Theriault videos they do for their 3D printers. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a commercial.
Okay.
And they do these things for their 3D printers. They should just have Shia LaBeouf on there.
Yeah, why not? I'm sure he's looking for roles. I'm sure he could star in a Theriault commercial, I guess. Why not? Let's just make it happen.
Not? Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching every week, 6 p.m. Central, right here on HotMakes. Don't forget to find us and tag us with hashtag HotMakes so we can put your stuff on. And we will see you next week where we bring on everybody, Brian Vines, Chris Kersey, and Garrett from 3D Print Farm. But Everybody else, have a great week. Andrew, hang out right there. We'll be right back with you. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
It's a major award.